Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Where to even start with this movie? I'm going to be honest here, this might come as a shock to some of you guys, but up until Monday of this past week, I had never seen a Mission Impossible movie in my life. I know it's an unforgivable sin considering I'm like a huge cinephile and I've never seen a single film in this franchise. But I don't know what it was. Like, my parents weren't really into this series as a whole. It never really like appealed to me. I always thought they were like kind of generic action flicks like Fast and Furious. So I knew I had this screening today. So on Monday of last week, I actually made a plan to watch one movie every day leading up to today. And I did that. And I actually found myself in some shock because, to my surprise, the Mission Impossible films, except for a select few, which we will get into in a later video, except for a select few, most of them are excellent examples of what action movies should all aim to be. They're phenomenal films. I think they're extremely well made, extremely well choreographed in their action sequences. I think they're phenomenal films. And I walked into this one a bigger fan than I was probably a week ago when I first learned of this screening. So what did I think of this new film after having seen all the previous ones? I think they should, at this point, just let Christopher McQuarrie direct all of the Mission Impossible films, because this man kind of knows what he's doing with this franchise, I think, and it's very plain to see. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is a phenomenal film. But it's not without its flaws. Tom Cruise is having the time of his life as Ethan Hunt. You can clearly see that. The rest of the cast, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, all delightful. I thought it was such an engaging and exciting film. Hayley Atwell is a fantastic cast addition here. She blends so well with the other characters. You could have sworn she was in some of the other franchise offerings. But yeah, she's a newcomer here. She does phenomenal work here. Can't wait to see her in part 2. It's going to be very exciting to see where her character goes over the course of the next film. I thought the action was phenomenal too. I thought it was very well choreographed, as was the case in other films. There wasn't really a bad action sequence in this movie. It was phenomenal. It kind of reminded me of Fallout in that sense, because it was very well placed action sequences in this film. And the last hour is absolutely incredible. This film really delivers in the final act. Up to that point, I actually found myself watching this film and being concerned, because it was a great film, don't get me wrong. But as I was watching it, kind of moved at a slow pace. And I was kind of worried. I was like, okay, is this eventually going to get better? Or am I going to have to rate this like a 70 or something, like a medium rating? And it got better. That last hour is the biggest payoff you will find in the film. I'm telling you, go see this film. Even if you find yourself slogging through the first 2 hours thinking to yourself, man, I really wish things would get more exciting. That last hour is absolutely so worth it. It is so well done. Really, really good. Overall, though, I think that this film definitely could have been shorter. The middle of the film as a whole drags considerably, and there were some moments that really took me out of it joke-wise and writing-wise. I didn't really think the writing was particularly that strong, but still, fantastic, fantastic film. I can't wait for part 2. This film, it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger per se, because I know you're seeing part 1 in the title of this film, and you're like, okay, is it going to be like Spider-Verse or any other movie this summer that has been on a cliffhanger? Kind of. It's not really a cliffhanger where you're like, oh my gosh, I need to see what happens now. It's more like, man, I really am excited for part 2. It left off on a satisfying conclusion, and I really want to see what happens next, but I can wait. And that's a fantastic ending that I think every cliffhanger should be. I think it's satisfying, yet it leaves you wanting more, which you definitely will want to watch the next part, which is releasing sometime in the next few years. So all in all, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is a fantastic summer blockbuster. Tom Cruise proves that he's still got it. And yeah, it's just going to be such a fun time, I think, for most audiences. I think you are going to enjoy this film. If you're watching this, go see this film. Highly worth it. Highly recommend. I would give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 an 88 out of 100. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you are new to this channel, please click the subscribe button down below, like the video, and turn on push notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel. With that being said, this is Mitchell signing off. Peace out.